Good afternoon. कैमरा ऑन कर लीजिए। कीप योर कैमराज ऑन।
मैम ये कॉलेज कब ओपन होगा?
मे बी मार्च। कैमरा ऑन कीजिए अपना आप लोग। कैमरा ऑन कीजिए। ऐसे में किससे क्या बात करेगा इंसान? कैमरा ऑन कीजिए, नहीं तो फिर क्लास से रिमूव हो जाइएगा आप। ऐसे क्लास लेना पॉसिबल नहीं है। कैमरा ऑफ आपका है, मैं क्लास नहीं ले पाऊंगी ऐसे। क्लास करना है, कैमरा ऑन कीजिए अपना। कैमरा ऑन नहीं ऑन करेंगे तो आपको रिमूव कर दिया जाएगा, जो हम कर रहे हैं। कैमरा ऑन कीजिए। स्टूडेंट ज्वाइन क्यों नहीं किए हैं? कैमरा ऑन कीजिए। सपना सपना कुमारी। बाकी बच्चे कहाँ हैं?
मैम सर का क्लास चल रहा है, अमित शुक्ला सर का।
तो तुम छोड़ दी क्लास?
नहीं मैम, क्लास कर रहे, लैपटॉप से कनेक्ट है मैम। 2 मिनट एंड होने के बाद हम कैमरा ऑन कर लेते हैं।
अब क्लास चल रहा है अभी?
यस मैम, सर का क्लास चल रहा है।
ठीक है।
ठीक है।
So because time is over, so I just I continue the topic next class.
Recording stopped.
मैम अभी थोड़ा देर रुकिएगा, और लोग आ रहे हैं, क्लास चल रहा है IBM का।
अभी क्लास ओवर हो गया क्या आप लोगों का?
नो मैम, अभी अटेंडेंस चल रहा है IBM का।
31 to 40, 31 to 40, 31 to
क्लास ओवर हो गया क्या?
अटेंडेंस हो रहा है मैम।
Class started late, what?
सर लेट आए थे थोड़ा।
अच्छा, मैंने तो टाइमली लॉग इन कर लिया था। 5:15।
Good afternoon, ma'am.
गुड आफ्टरनून। चलिए, कोई क्वेश्चन है लास्ट क्लास से? अभी सारे बच्चे नहीं आए क्या?
No, ma'am.
Any question? Anybody has any question?
मैम लास्ट क्लास का थोड़ा शॉर्ट में रिवाइज करा दीजिए, छूट गया था मेरा।
छूट क्या
जब
था
तक
तो
बच्चे आ रहे हैं।
जब तक तुम लिंक देख लिया करो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में से जा करके
यस मैम,
लिंक।
नहीं कर पाया था।
हाँ, तो वो कह तो रहे कि जो बच्चे नहीं कर पा रहे हैं ना, तो यूट्यूब लाइव स्ट्रीम तो हो ही रहा है। तो सही बात है, कोई
यस मैम।
कोई चीज है बीच में आप नहीं करते हैं तो फिर आगे की समझ नहीं पाते हैं। चलिए, आज बहुत टाइम वेस्ट हो गया आज। कैन एनीबडी रिवाइज लास्ट क्लास? इस बच्चे को कुछ समझ में आ जाए? किसी को याद है पिछली क्लास में क्या हुआ था? आपने नोट्स तो लिखा होगा ना? बताइए। बताइए, कोई भी बताइए। पिछले क्लास में क्या पढ़ाई हुई थी, बताइए। हाँ, बोलिए। बाकी लोगों को क्या ध्यान नहीं रहता है क्या? नोट्स नहीं बनाते हैं?
In last class, ma'am, you have discussed about the second stanza and the third stanza of the poem.
थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड।
Second and third stanza. In second stanza, you have discussed that the poet is discussing about the cloud who is hanging on the sky. They are motionless, but the west wind comes, then they are coming motion. They are like an angel that is full of rain and lightning because of the coming of west wind. The lightning and just like the Menard, who is the goddess, whose hair is just like the lightning of the cloud. The cloud stretches from the horizon, and they are they are coming like they are arranging like that the storm is coming. And it showed that the end of the year, and the cloud started lightning rain, and it's just like a hail that is falling down on the earth, on the vast storm. And the third stanza, the poet is saying about the Mediterranean Sea, that the whole sea was motionless, are taking rest in summer, but due to the coming of west wind, they are coming motion. They are form a dangerous form of itself. And the west wind, the flowers inside, the plants inside the sea are what?
So what
gliding
does
with each other.
what does the Mediterranean dream about all summer?
It's I think क्या था मैम? What time? Repeat the question.
What does the Mediterranean Sea dream about all summer when they are sleeping? When it is sleeping.
It's thinking of sleeping. It's dreaming about the west wind.
No.
Because when
No.
I also doubt him.
Anybody else can answer?
मैम रूइंस जिससे वेस्ट विंड ने तबाह कर दिया था घाटी जगह को, रूइंस को।
क्या
रूइंस मैम, रूइंस और स्पेलिंग है रूइंस।
नोट्स नहीं लिखते हैं आप लोग क्या?
नो मैम रूइंस
नोट्स क्या होता है आप समझते हैं ना?
Ma'am, can I repeat, ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, he's dreaming about the ruin about when the earthquake came.
Dreaming about?
Ma'am, the ruining when happened when the earthquake came, ma'am, all the palace was submerged inside the water.
Yes. All summer the Mediterranean Sea is dreaming about palaces and towers which submerged in the water.
Yes, ma'am.
After an earthquake. देखिए क्वेश्चंस कहीं से भी आ सकते हैं, एमसीक्यूज आप समझते हैं. इफ यू विल नॉट नो इन डिटेल, मैंने आपको डिटेल में समझाया है ना, पिक्चर्स के साथ समझाया है, सो दैट द पिक्चर कैन कम इन योर माइंड एंड यू कैन आंसर क्वेश्चन. तो आप लिखा जब तक नोट्स नहीं बनाएंगे ना तो आप नहीं कर पाएंगे. अगर हम एमसीक्यू पूछते हैं आप तो आप जवाब दे पाएंगे, अगर तो बढ़िया है, नहीं दे पाएंगे मतलब आपने नोट्स बनाया नहीं. और हमेशा डिपेंडेंट मत रहिए कि स्क्रीनशॉट ले लेंगे यार, वेटिंग फॉर दी नोट्स पीडीएफ भेज दीजिएगा. आप खुद क्यों नहीं बनाते अपना नोट्स? वाई कांट यू मेक योर ओन नोट्स? 1 घंटे की क्लास में मैंने सिर्फ एक स्टैंजा मैं लेती हूँ तो मुश्किल से 5-7 लाइनों की होती है. आई गो इनटू डिटेल्स ऑफ एवरी लाइन. और फिर जब हम पूछते हैं डू यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन, तो आपके पास कोई क्वेश्चन भी नहीं रहता है, ना कोई क्वेश्चन रहता है, ना क्वेश्चन का आंसर रहता है आपके पास, ना कोई रिकैप में समझ में आता है कि क्या कौन सा क्वेश्चन पूछा जा रहा है. इतने वेग रहेंगे आप तो फिर क्या होगा? नहीं पास कर पाएंगे, बैक लगवाएंगे अपना, विच यू विल नॉट लाइक. मैंने कई बार कहा है दीज आर टेक्निकल थिंग्स, आप अपने मन से नहीं बोल सकते. लिटरेचर जो एक स्टोरी होता है, एक पोइट्री होता है, लाइन बाय लाइन उसको समझना होता है. एंड पाटलिपुत्र यूनिवर्सिटी में एमसीक्यूज रहता है, मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस, जो कि बिना डिटेल जाने हुए आप नहीं कर पाएंगे. मैं रिपीटेडली बता रही हूँ आपको, हर क्लास में ये बात मैं बता रही हूँ. एमसीक्यू वही अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं जिसको पूरी कंप्लीट नॉलेज है. डू यू अंडरस्टैंड?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, बाकी लोग तो यस मैम भी नहीं, कुछ नहीं, चुपचाप बैठे रहते हैं. Why is this class so unresponsive? अगर किसी को पूछेंगे व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट आंसर तो बता पाओगे क्या? मैं हर एक स्टैंडर्ड से एमसीक्यू में बनाने वाली हूँ. अभी भी शुरू नहीं किया है तो जितने भी YouTube लाइव आपका लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग है उसको देखा करिए, बार बार देखिए जब तक कि आपको समझ में नहीं आता है. वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग इन फ्रेंच और चाइनीज, वी आर टॉकिंग इन हिंदी, एक्सप्लेनिंग इन हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश कंबाइंड बोथ. क्वेश्चन आंसर जो बच्चे करते हैं, जो क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, इट मीन्स दे वांट टू लर्न. जिनके पास क्वेश्चन भी नहीं है तो हम क्या समझेंगे? नॉट इवन इंटरेस्टेड टू नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. फिर हम पूछ रहे हैं, इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस प्लीज आस्क मी राइट नाउ. एक और सौरभ सिन्हा, सौरभ कुमार सिन्हा, बताइए, आप बताइए, व्हाट हैव यू अंडरस्टूड सो फार? अभी तक आपने क्या समझा है? इनके पास कोई आंसर नहीं है, इनके घर वाले आंसर दे रहे हैं. बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक हो रहा है, पढ़ाई को तमाशा बना के रखे हुए हैं, तो खुद अपना तमाशा बन रहा है. इफ यू आर नॉट सीरियस, तो तमाशा बनाओगे पढ़ाई को तो खुद तमाशा बनोगे ना तुम लोग. When I ask you any question है तो आप कुछ नहीं बोलते हैं, and when I ask you any question you keep quiet.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, I like students who ask
Yeah.
questions. At least they are interested to know what is happening.
Ma'am,
Yes,
the west wind is a destroyer or a preserver?
both.
If ma'am, in examination it will come, then how can I define it, ma'am? And,
No,
it's a with
you have to go according to the writer.
okay, ma'am.
And descriptive essays तो होगा नहीं ना, MCQs होता है अब तो. But even in internal exam, it can be asked. Please specify whether the west wind is the destroyer or the preserver. So you have to write the west wind is the preserver and destroyer as well.
Okay, ma'am.
तूफान में क्या क्या खत्म हो जाता है, that is a destroyer. और spring season में flowers खिलता है, that is the preserver. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
As explained by the author. चलिए, I'm taking you to the 4th stanza. और फिर एक और बच जाता है, लास्ट स्टैंजा बच जाता है. While sleep at this place, the Mediterranean Sea saw old palaces and towers that had collapsed into the sea during an earthquake. This was what I asked you. What did the Mediterranean Sea dream of? It was dreaming of old palaces and towers. Now, the author is trying to tell you, update you with what actually happened. And during an earthquake, a lot of buildings and towers and palaces were submerged in water. Right. So, and this was the explanation about the third stanza. Okay, and how these flowers are so beautiful, which are underground. The plants and they were overgrown. बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं वो लोग, overgrown हो जाते हैं. And they are so beautiful. They are so beautiful and इतना fragrant है, इतनी खुशबू वाले वो पौधे होते हैं कि उसको याद करके ही आपको फेंटिंग आए, आप बिल्कुल लगेगा गश्त आपको आ जाएगा. लेकिन जब वेस्ट विंड आए, with the coming of west wind, We having power cuts. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So when the west wind comes, these plants are afraid that I don't know what will happen. They feel that God knows what will happen because the west wind is so powerful. It can destroy, it can uproot any plant. और वो plants डर के मारे एक दूसरे को टकराने लग जाते हैं. They hurt themselves. This was the third stanza. Now the fourth stanza. Stanza 3, stanza 4. In stanza 4, the poet talks about his requests. वो अब किसी चीज को डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर रहे, वो stanza 1 to 3 को समराइज करते हैं. He is summarizing stanza 1, stanza 2, stanza 3. तो पहले स्टैंजा में क्या था वो बताते हैं, वो याद दिलाते हैं कि जिस तरह से यू हैव हेल्प द लीव्स एंड द सीड्स, वो लीव्स जो विच आर ऑन द ट्रीज, द डेड लीव्स, किस तरह से उनको तुम उड़ा के ले जाते हो. So there are a lot of dead leaves in my mind. In my brain is not working properly. There are a lot of dead leaves. Why don't you do the same thing? तुम उन लीव्स को क्यों नहीं उड़ा के कहीं ले जाते हो, ताकि फिर न्यू विचार आए, न्यू वर्ड्स आए, न्यू थॉट्स आए. Similarly, he is trying to say he remembers the clouds and the way you have helped the clouds so that it may rain. Without you, they could not have moved, but because of you, the clouds move and we get rain. And then he talks about how this Mediterranean Sea was sleeping and how you came and helped them. You woke it up, तुम उसको जगा देते हो. उसी तरह से there are a lot of things inside me which is sleeping, which is inactive. उन सबको भी एक्शन में ले आओ. तो in stanza 4 he is recapping stanza 1, stanza 2 and stanza 3. और वो कहते हैं if I were a dead leaf, अगर मैं dead leaf होता, if I were a dead leaf, तुम्हारी ताकत से मैं भी कहीं उड़ जाता, ताकि मुझे भी न्यू बिगिनिंग मिल जाता कहीं. And then he says, if I were a swift cloud to fly, मैं भी एक क्लाउड की तरह होता जो यहाँ से वहां उड़ जाता, मोशन में आ जाता. Because everything inside me is kind of dying, nothing is active. So he wants the west wind to help him. Like comparatively, he has helped the leaves and the flowers. He has the dead leaves, like he has helped the clouds, and like he has helped the waves, the sleeping Mediterranean Sea. If I were a swift cloud to fly with thee, a wave to pant beneath thy power and share. और मैं भी तुम्हारी तरह, if I were a swift cloud to fly, मैं भी उड़ जाता तुम्हारे साथ. A wave to pant beneath thy power and share. और फिर तुम्हारी ताकत से waves जो मेडिटेरेनियन सी में वो हलचल तुम कर देते हो, and those waves with your power starts moving. The impulse of thy strength only less free. और जो तुम्हारे strength है, और मैं भी free हो जाता तुम्हारी तरह, like you are free. Then thou, oh uncontrollable, और वो बोलते कि तुम तो controllable नहीं हो, you are uncontrollable, nobody can control you. So the poet is requesting the west wind, even I want to be free like you. He says he would like to be like the fly with the west wind. And use his powers so that he can also be powerful, he can also be free, like how the west wind is free and nobody can control it because it is so powerful. And he says, you are the uncontrollable. Moving on. And then he says, as a child, I thought I can compete. I was a comrade. Comrade kya hota hai? Somebody who can come into competition. So the poet is saying that when he was a child, he thought I can compete with the wind. बच्चों को क्या होता है? They feel they are mighty, they are strong. Like many children have lost their lives. So they put on the costume of Superman. और वो लोग balcony से कूद जाते हैं. Whatever they see, they try to imitate. So even as a child, P.B. Shelley thought that the wind is so strong. And the child used to feel that, yes, I am also strong and I can compete with the west wind. I can also become a comrade, compete with the west wind. But now he feels that no, I was wrong. And now I don't have that strength. And now I want your strength. Now he wants the strength of the west wind. He is requesting the west wind to help him. The tameless and uncontrollable, because the west wind is tameless. कोई उसको बांध नहीं सकता है. और controllable है. So keeping in mind with the strength of the west wind, the author is requesting again and again to come and help. Because now at this point of time, if you remember, even P.B. Shelley died at a very young age. He died at the age of 29. So he feels at this age that he feels that the power, he's losing the power within. He says that every time I want to write, I'm not able to. There are a lot of dead leaves inside me. So I want this to be replaced by new thoughts. So he's requesting the west wind to come and help. What are the requests? He is requesting. Agra kar raha hai. Oh, lift me as a wave, a leaf, a cloud. Lift me. Like you have lifted the wave in the Mediterranean Sea, the leaf on the tree, and the clouds in the sky. Lift me. The request is so strong. Why is it strong? Because the writer feels that he has become useless and he is not able to write anything. He is sad. He is a sad person and he does not know what to do. So I fall upon the thorns of life. I bleed. He said that life has given me so much of pain. Life has given me so much of thorns. Thorns का मतलब होता है कांटे. वो compare करते हैं कि his life is like a person who falls on the thorns of life. जिंदगी के कांटों से वो घिरा हुआ, गिर पड़ा कांटों पे. And I bleed. It means his body is bleeding. The poet feels he wants some help because he is a very sad man, a sad person, that he has fallen on the thorns of life. Thorns, the rose has thorns, no? कांटे. जिंदगी के कांटों में उलझ गया है, गिर पड़ा है, और he is bleeding. A heavy weight of hours has chained me and bowed me. Or with every passing day, बर्डन्स हैं जो इसको बिल्कुल झुका दिया है. हेवी वेट. His heart is full of some kind of sadness, depression, some weight. कोई बोझ उसके सिर पे. Something has chained him down. कोई चीज है जो उसको शिकंजों में जकड़ रखा हुआ है. His helplessness has chained him. He feels he has become weak. He feels he is not that so much young. Earlier he thought that yes, he can do it. As a child he thought he can compete with the wind, but then as he is growing older he feels that I am losing all my strength. I am not strong. मुझ में ताकत नहीं है. जिंदगी के कांटों में मैं उलझ गया हूँ. And I am bleeding. जख्मी हो गया हूँ. एक बोझ है जो हर पल बढ़ रहा है. A heavy weight of ours. मतलब होता है with every passing hour the weight is getting heavier. And this weight, this helplessness, this sadness has chained and bound him. उसको chain कर दिया गया. He is chained. And bound मतलब झुका दिया है उसको. One too like these, the tameless and swift and proud. और एक समय था when I was too, तुम्हारी तरह मैं भी था. I too like thee. मैं भी तुम्हारी तरह था when I was a child. Even I was tameless. Even I was swift. मैं भी बहुत तेज था. And I was also proud. So these are the things he feels in this stanza. A lot of requests. You can see the pictures of man lifting his hand. Lift me as a wave. Lift me as a leaf. Lift me as a cloud. I fall upon the thorns of life. I bleed. In the second picture, you see a man who is वो झुका हुआ है. Fallen on the thorns of life and bowed, मतलब झुका हुआ है. And then he has been chained. जैसे कि उसको chain, जैसे you tie, an animal is chained. He feels as if he is like an animal. Somebody has chained him. And he has no control over himself because he has become, he feels he is no longer young and he has become useless and active. And one too like thee. And there was a time when I was also like you. I was tameless. Nobody could control me. I was swift. मैं भी बहुत तेज था. And yes, I was also very proud of my strength. But these are the thoughts which he feels when he was a child. So here you can see the picture. As a child, I thought I can compete. I am a comrade. So I was swift. I was proud of myself. And I knew my strength. Yes, I am also like the west wind. Stanza 4. No, if this person is coming so late, what is the point of him to come? If I were a dead leaf, thou might bear. If I were a swift cloud to fly with thee, a wave to pant beneath thy power and share. These were the things I already explained. The impulse of thy strength only less free than thou, O controllable, if even I were in my boyhood and could be. And I could be the comrade of thy wanderings over heaven. मैं भी तुम्हारी तरह compete करता, because I thought as a child I was very, very, very strong like you. And then when to outstrip the sky speed. और जितने तेजी से तुम उड़ते हो, जाते हो, उसी तेजी से मैं भी कर सकता था when I was a child. और फिर अब वो उसको याद नहीं आ रहा कि and scarce seemed a vision. It means now he is not able to think about it. और अगर मुझे वो सब याद रहता, अगर मुझे वो सब ताकत रहती, then I would have never striven. तो मैं तुम्हें कभी रिक्वेस्ट करता ही नहीं. And thus with thee in prayer in my sore need, और अभी जो मुझे तुम्हारी जरूरत है, sore need means I need you right now. And thus with thee, तुम्हारे साथ, in prayer, I am praying to you, I am requesting you, in my need, oh lift me as a wave, a cliff or a cloud. I fall upon the thorns of life, I bleed. A heavy weight of ours has chained and bowed. One too like thee, tameless and swift and proud. Explain already हम कर चुके हैं आपको. Summary. The poet says that if he were a dead leaf, अगर वो dead leaf होता, like the ones in the first stanza, जिस तरह से first stanza में आपने पढ़ा था, or a cloud, like the ones in the second stanza, or an ocean wave that rides the power of the Atlantic, but is less free than the uncontrollable wind, west wind. So without the wind, nothing is possible. So has already started his request. Then he remembers his childhood days. A boy. He remembers himself as a boy and could accompany the wandering wind in the heaven and could only dream of traveling faster. And he thinks now he can only dream. But there was a time he thought that he can compete with the wind. Well, then he would never have prayed to the west wind as he is doing now in this hour of need. Referring again to his imagery in the first three stanzas, पहले three stanzas को refer करते हुए the poet पूछता है, ask the west wind to lift him as it would a wave, a leaf, or a cloud. For here on earth he is experiencing troubles and that prick him like thorns and cause him to bleed. Or he again, like Keats, he's also feeling bad on this earth. कि ये दुनिया भी उसको कांटे चुभा रही है. For here on earth, इस धरती पे, he is experiencing troubles and he is having problems on this earth that prick him. Prick का मतलब होता है चुभना. क्या चुभ रहा है? Something which is hurting him. कोई चीज जो तकलीफ दे रही है उसको. Like thorns, कांटों की तरह, जैसे कांटे उसके बदन में चुभ रहे हैं. And that is causing him to bleed. He is now carrying a heavy burden. और अब वो एक बहुत heavy burden carry कर रहा है. Though he is proud and tameless and swift like the west wind. तो वो feel करता है कि वो भी tameless होना चाहता है, swift and west wind जिस तरह बचपन में वो था. And now everything has immobilized him. और सब कुछ उसको immobilize कर दिया, मतलब कि inactive कर दिया. And now he feels somebody has chained him and bowed him down. और उसको बिल्कुल झुका दिया. Any question for stanza 4? Ask any question. No question.
No question, ma'am.
No question.
ठीक है, मैं पूछूं क्या? No question.
Yes, ma'am.
Then let me
Yes,
ask.
sir.
Okay. What have you understood give me in very short, what is happening in the fourth stanza?
In fourth stanza, the poet is describing about all three stanzas and requesting to the west wind that I am very sad. I am losing my thoughts and I am hopeless because the life is just like a throne that bow me in front of
that has
world.
bowed me down, जो हमको झुका दिया है.
Yes, ma'am.
So
And
now what is the request? with the west wind. This is the main thing. क्या request कर रहा है?
Ma'am, he is requesting that please take me away from the earth, just like you have taken.
Just like you have treated the leaves, the flowers, the clouds, the waves. Just like you have given so much support to nature. So why don't you support me now? Consider me as a leaf, consider me as a cloud, consider me as a wave. So why can't you treat me the way you have treated them? Because there are a lot of things which is unwanted, and this life has given me a lot of troubles. This life has given me a lot of problems, hurt, and I feel I'm a living dead person. So why don't you put some life inside me? Why don't you lift me? There was a time when I was proud, I was swift like you, I could compete with you. But then now, this life has given me problems, and this has chained me. So I need, in this hour of need, if I knew that I had the same strength as I had, I would not be requesting you in this hour of need. And in this hour of need, every hour the hurt is increasing. The weight is getting heavier with every passing day, with every passing hour. So why don't you do? Why can't you help me? Why can't you do me a favor like you've done to nature? So this is the fourth stanza, and in the final stanza we'll take up in the next class. So it is such a beautiful poetry with you get to know a lot of things. What is what, and I don't know. Literature is something interesting if you understand. And you get a lot of content to speak. If you want to improve your communication skills, take your literature classes seriously, because this is one way you can speak like your teachers, right? Okay, then that's it for today. And once I'm done with the syllabus, we have just one stanza and the poetry section will be over. And the most difficult of all these subjects is literature. And the most difficult portion is the poetry section. So we are concluding with, we just have one stanza to go. And then we will quickly switch over to the Merchant of Venice, the drama by William Shakespeare. Right? And once I have done this, I will share with you Ode to Nightingale. I will share with you Ode to the West Wind. Right? You will see the pictures and you will remember what I said. And of course, and there's the YouTube, so everything is very clear, and you can always go back and listen to the lessons recap. So learning is at its best when you can recap again and again. और किसी को नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, I'm always free. You can ask me 10 times. I will tell you, explain 20 times. But then you have to come up and ask me ना. पूछना तो तुमको पड़ेगा ना. Let me पूछ any question? No, ma'am. Okay, fine.
But why he is requesting for powers, ma'am?
He is requesting for power because उसको लग रहा है कि वो old हो रहा है और उसके पास वो ताकत नहीं है. बहुत dead thoughts उसके दिमाग में है. So he wants some help from the west wind. He is comparing his thoughts to the dead leaves or the clouds. Do something to me. Drive these dead thoughts away so that new thoughts can come. And there can be a new beginning. So the poet wants to write some beautiful lines and poetry so that we can read and spread the word like you are spreading the leaves and the seeds, so that in the springtime we get new flowers. That is why he's requesting the west wind to help him.
Okay, ma'am.